So this is my 1991 Nissan Silvia S13 SR20 DET with a black top, S13 black top from a later 180SX from Japan, or at the very minimum it has at least the head on it. I never did the swap, so I'm not sure if it's a full engine swap or just the black top head. Just going around the car, just trying to clean up a little bit of stuff on it this year, since I do actually drive the car. It is legally on the road, even though it looks quite beat up. The chassis itself is the cleanest chassis I've ever come across in person in my years of trying to find and buy and sell S13s. I've never seen one this clean. I've seen cleaner ones in videos, pictures, and whatnot, but I've never seen one that's rust-wise this fucking clean. The paint on it's absolutely horrible. It's got paint, the clear coat's coming off everywhere. This rear bumper I painted myself. It was white. When I bought the car, it came with a body kit on it. And I'm not a fan of the big aero body kits, but you can see the bumper's kind of hanging there because when I put the bumper back on, I forgot to put the foam packing in the bumper. I have it. I just could care less to do it. So next time I pull the bumper off to repaint it, because it's starting to look like it needs another paint job right there. So I'm gonna have to paint this bumper again when I paint the front bumper. I'm not a painter, so I don't expect it to last much longer than this paint job. But like, as for rust, really there's only there's one hole here in the rocker, but I've cleaned it out, so the rust is about the size of the hole because I've gotten rid of anything else that's rusty. It's starting to get a little bit of rust right here, which I'm assuming there was some kind of damage or there was rust there at some point, because there's supposed to be a seam line right here and it's been filled in with body filler. So this could be a whole problem area that I'm unaware of. I haven't really dug into it, but you can see it's starting to bubble a little bit there, but it's solid as a rock. It's a little spot on the hood right here. And then it's starting to get a little bit of rust on this seam here, where on the other side I got like the tiniest little hole right here that I gotta fix. But other than that, there's, oh yeah, and right here above the rear quarter on the tire, there's just a little spot there. But I'm pretty sure that's from me, because I had to roll the fenders, or the quarters and the fenders, to get the wheels on. So I have wheel spacers in there to get a better flush fitment on these old wheels. These are painted wheels. They look shitty, but they're actually raised. So they're some nice 16-inch fucking raised from the 90s, early 90s. I believe whatever the hell that is, a Trizo or Sesto, I think that's what it is, Sesto, raised Sestos, which when I bought the car, it had some American racing rims on it that I wasn't, like, they weren't ugly, but I wasn't a big fan of. And then the guy threw these on because he wanted more money for the rims to go with the car. When I came to pick up the car, I was like, these rims are 100 times nicer, despite being 3 different colors, than the rims that he had on it. So I was quite happy with that. It's got the projector lights, which I was thinking about doing the brick swap with the Chevy lights, because if you get the old bricks from the Chevy trucks, they basically drop right in, and next to a legit brick light, you can't really tell the difference, other than they're square, and these ones kind of have an angle right here. But outside of that, they're basically identical and more or less fit in. Just drop right in, the right size. You just got to come up with a little bit of bracketing inside of the engine bay to actually get them to stay in place. But it is a K's. Came from the factory with a SR20 DET. It says it on the plate, but it's not a Hicus or Super Hicus, so it doesn't have the K, or the K in front of the PS, but only the Hicus or came with the K's, so a lot of people get that confused, but I think it has to have the K in front of the PS to be a K's, but in reality that just stands for Hicus. I'm going to pop the hood here. It's quite dirty, since I also work on a farm and I tend to drive this out into the country, drive through dirt roads with it, I drive on the farm with it. It gets quite muddy and dusty, so I haven't really I don't clean the car ever. I never clean any of my vehicles. This is it. There's the engine, the black top. You can tell it's an actual black top, or at least black top head by the fins on the head there. It wasn't painted black. But if you look at the plate, you can see it says SR20 DET right here. So it was a legit case. Yeah, this is my car. Right now I'm in the middle of, I'll show you what the problem is right now actually before I get in. So I took out the cover here because my wipers didn't work properly, so I had to replace all the linkage for the wipers, but I never put the cover back on. So I'm in the middle of ripping out my glove box so I can get to it's kind of dark in here. So right here where I'm pointing is the fan motor, and it's got a bunch of leaves that I sucked into it when I started it for the first time this year. So I got to pull that out, clean the leaves out, put it back in, and try to find the cover to put back on there so that doesn't happen again. And it had a little bit of an odor of a mouse in there, and I've now 2 years in a row have had mouse issues. So now there's one living in the car. Last year it wouldn't start because see all this tape here, it chewed through all these wires here which go to my ignition from my ECU. So it took me a good week probably to trace it back to those to figure that out. It still needs an oil change this year, so I'm not really beating on it too hard. I haven't changed the oil yet, but as you can see, the strut towers are mint. Getting a little bit of rust here. Most of that's not rust, that's just debris. But there is a little bit of just rust now starting to pop through there, but other than that, the strut towers are mint. This one's getting a little bit too, but it's a little better than the other side, but the tower itself is mint. Underneath the car is, get underneath, it's all good. It's a little fucking dinged up there, but what car isn't dinged up there from people jacking it up by that point? Not using a proper jack stand, or a fucking proper pinch weld jack, sorry, not a jack stand. Jack stand points are there. But yeah, there's no rust in the rockers outside of that one hole I showed you, and the one on the other side that's just starting to happen. I got the carpet in the trunk. I'm trying to keep this car as original as I can. Like when I got this car, it came in pieces. Like it didn't run properly. I thought it had rod knock, but it just had dried out lifters. So I had to take the head apart or not the head, I just had to get the cams and everything out of the head and then put the lifters in a little jar of oil and prime them. That got rid of that. So I've had the top off the car, or at least the valve cover. I've had this ripped apart probably 10 times in the first 2 or 3 years that I had the car. Oh shit, my finger's in there. First 2 or 3 years that I had the car, I was, took me about 7 years to get this car back assembled and able to pass a safety to get on the road to meet like the Canadian road compliances. So yeah, it was quite a bit of that. And it's put 300 ZX brakes on it. I can't really see them, but I got Yokonaka, fully adjustable dampening shocks. The interior, I have a S13 passenger seat, which would have been a driver's seat for somebody, but since I'm right-hand drive, I stuck with the original seat because I have yet to find an S15 seat. I want to get a set of brides for it, but the price of just brides, regardless of the condition, is just too much. It's out of the price range that I'm willing to spend right now for the amount of other things that I'd like to do to the car. And I keep putting my finger there. And frankly, I like the look of the seat. Like, I think it looks great. Got Momo Woody steering wheel. Got a Woody shifter from a BMW that I used to have because I had the Momo originally in my Beamer. Bought a matching shift knob, but then just took when I scrapped the Beamer, I got rid of it. But I kept all the goodies out of it. Half the wiring in this car, or I wouldn't say half the wiring, all the replaced wiring in this car is out of that old Beamer. Like I ran the battery into the trunk, and that's all using the old BMW wiring because they had trunk mount batteries. So I don't know where, if I can, yeah, right here. It's It's my block, and then right here is my wiring. I got shielding on it. It's black, so you can't really see it, but I can pop the trunk and show. Push this down or else the trunk will get sticky. So I got, the carpet's in here. It's just not mounted or anything because I pull it out all the time. But here's the battery. Got the original BMW wiring. Goes to the original fuse block that came out of the BMW. See the tops of the adjustable dampened shocks. The rear strut tower is mint, even though I don't really know these to rot out. I've never seen that before, but the fronts are bad. I know that's an issue. A little bit of debris there, get rid of that. Thing's been sitting outside for a little bit. That's probably why the trunk's a little damp. The water's settling there. Lift this up. Yeah, it's a little bit of water in the trunk. I need to either redo the seals or just check some shit. I think the seals all look fine. That's not great there. It's old sealant. But yeah, the seal looks great. It's a little loose on there. A little loose. The seal looks fine. It must just be probably the debris building water up and letting it get in. Just put a new windshield on it, so windshield's good, but I don't think they actually... Oh shit, it's a brand new windshield. I don't even probably have 100 kilometers on it yet, and I already got a bunch of rock chips. So yeah, it's not a great windshield, I would say then. Not cheap either, so they don't really make these windshields anymore. I'm gonna have to go get that fixed. Oh wait, never mind, that might not actually be chips. I think those are just tar. Might be sap from the tree in my yard. It's not parked under a tree, but it's parked near a tree. Yeah. This is my S13 Silvia. I just put new belts on it, so I got some HKS belts, but they're a little squeaky right now because I put them on and they've stretched within the first probably 20 minutes of me putting them on, so I have to readjust the belt. So if I started, it might squeak a little bit, but we'll see if it'll start. The battery was dead not too long ago. The battery was dead this morning, so I'll make sure I'm not in gear. I have the clutch wire connected. Mute that. I also put in a nav, so don't have my phone plugged in. I don't have the radio hooked up, but there's my mic. I got it's all wired through up around here to there, so I got like hands-free deck. I got the, what do you call it, Bluetooth radio, and then I got nav in there. But see if it starts, no problem. Yeah, see, the belts are a little squeaky right now. Gotta figure that out. I have polyurethane mounts in it, so it's quite rattly. I have polyurethane on the engine, and I have it on the that's the radio going again. I'll turn that off. There. I got the polyurethane polyurethane mounts on the transmission and engine. Got a HKS exhaust. She sounds quite nice. The idle's trying to find where it wants to be right now, so it's warming up. So I'll leave that open until I'm ready to go, just to let the trunk air out a little bit, because it seems quite moist in there. Also, it's kind of cold outside and warm in the shop, so that could also be a little bit of condensation. It is very moist and very cold outside. Something sounds rattly, but it doesn't sound like a rod or anything internal. It just sounds like something's fucking vibrating. Sounds like it's coming from this here. Yeah, this is rubbing on the frame. Yeah, that's the issue there. I had rubber down there. Oh, shoot. Yeah. this is the problem here. The intercooler piping's touching the cutout hole on the frame. So I just had to move it. There was rubber bushing there that I had, but it's fucking seems to have worn through it, so I got to put in a new rubber. But yeah, the idle's starting to settle now as it warms up. Yeah, you can really hear that fucking squeaky belt. Car runs great. I've never had any issues with it running as the idle stumbles. But I also just put the new clutch in it. When I put the new clutch in, I put a lightweight what do you call it? A lightweight fucking flywheel. So it's anytime you rev it, it tends to the idle drops a little low, and it's still trying to find its idle as it warms up. But yeah, she's still cold. It's not quite warm yet. Let's see if I can get you to focus in on that. Whatever, doesn't want to focus, but yeah, she's still cold. Yeah, she's idle's perfect. Yeah, I just got to adjust those belts and I should be good. Don't know what's going on here. Oh, one of my, must be an old bulb that I blew that I just threw into the trunk. But yeah, it looks like this rubber here is coming out. This is my underglow. That even could be where all the moisture is coming from. Me driving it and hitting water, and water's getting splashed up in through that hole. But yeah, I do have underglow. Whether or not it works anymore, because there's quite a bit of water around that, I'm not sure. I can check that real quick. Just got it on a switch right here. Yeah, still got underglow. She still works. I just did that as a joke one day. Me and my buddies, we were working on the car in the driveway. Cost me 20 bucks. Just switching through all the colors right now. But yeah, put that on a switch on my dash. Oh, accidentally knocked the wipers on. Yeah, so once it gets a nice paint job, I get the fucking rims cleaned or re-powder coated. I like the gold. I'm gonna go back with the gold. So hopefully I can just get the paint off, but if I need to powder coat them, I can. And yeah, gotta fix that squeak. There's also a little bit of oil down the front there, and you can see it. So I am missing one bolt here for my valve cover. Actually, I think I'm missing, yeah, from the looks of it, I'm missing two bolts. One there missing also, but I should have the